Every trader out there or every beginner thinks that the market is their enemy, but the reality is that the market is neutral. The market has nothing against you. The market is always just being the market. Price will always be price and it will always do what it has to do. But your mind, your thoughts, the way you think, the way you respond emotionally, the way you feel, and the emotion and the decisions that you take, that is your invisible best ally, and it could also be your worst enemy. So the mind that trades, or the mind that we bring into trading, is what actually determines if we succeed in trading or not. If we come into trading with the wrong mindset, then we have wrong results. So you're welcome to the channel and welcome to our weekly rundowns on market psychology, mindset, and emotional mastery. So if this is your first time coming across our videos, please make sure to give us a like, make sure to give us uh, a follow, and make sure to hit that notification button so that anytime we drop any comment, you are going to be one of the first persons to receive this. Most of us traders, we usually think that by mastering a strategy or by getting the latest indicator that we have out there, it is going to guarantee us success in trading. Just to meet a very powerful and a very strong opponent, which is nothing else but our own self. And this is hidden in our minds. So, the mind that trades is what determines success in trading. Take, for example, we have two traders, we give them the same strategy, and these two traders they go out there, and one is able to make it, one is not able to make it. Is it because the strategy that we gave them isn't working? Or there is an underlying cause to all of this? And if you look at it critically, especially when you get into trading, the excitement is always there. How you're going to be making money, how you're going to change your financial status, and all those things, and all those expectations that we bring at the beginning of our trading journey. So, when we give out this strategy to two persons, one goes out, one is successful, the other one goes out, they are not successful. It is not because the strategy is not working, but it is because there is a big difference, or there is a big disparity in the way that trader A responds to the market mentally and emotionally, and there is also a difference in the way that trader B responds to the market psychologically and emotionally and mentally. So my friends, today we are going to be talking about the mind that trades, which is your biggest asset or your biggest ally in the market, and left uncontrolled, it is going to become your worst enemy in trading. So, most people, when they get into trading, they have mastered everything. They know that they should be making money, but at the end of the day, they are not still making money. So, why is it so? Why does it happen like this? This is because the mind that we are bringing into trading has not just been trained to function under this environment called trading. The mind that we bring into trading has been trained for survival. All right. So we have different types of minds in trading. We have the survival mind, we have the analytical mind, and we have the flow state mind. So most traders that we have out there are functioning under the survival mind, and this is absolutely the wrong mind that you are bringing into trading. So today we are going to be looking at this and how we can adapt our mind to this new environment called trading. All right. So this is what we are going to be looking at today. And uh, I would advise you that you get a pen, get a paper, so that anything that we see here, you are going to write it down for subsequent reviewing. All right, so we are going to be diving straight into the mind that trades, and why the mind that trades is often our worst enemy and sometimes our best ally in trading. So my friends, without wasting much time, we are going to be looking at why psychology matters in trading. So we just said we should take, for example, two traders. One trader that uh, can perfectly manage their minds and their emotions, especially under pressure, and one trader who cannot maintain that calm nature under pressure. Now, it is not often because the market is against us, because we or because the strategy that we are using is not working. It is just because the mind that we bring into trading has not just been trained to function under this environment called trading. So today we are going to be looking at the mind that trades, and this is where a lot of traders find themselves lacking in trading. And you know the worst thing? The worst thing is that most people, they don't even want to accept the fact that they themselves, their mind is the biggest problem in trading. And that is why we find a lot of traders out there jumping from one strategy to the next, from one mentor to the next. So why does psychology matter in trading? We have already said that the market is neutral, and the only thing that is under pressure and tantamount to change is always your mind. So the market is not going to be the one that forces you to take an entry when you know that you should not be taking that entry. The market does not cause you to revenge trade. The market will not cause you to over leverage or to over risk, but it is going to be your own self. So my friends, your mind can either be your best ally or your worst enemy in trading. So, trading is 80% psychology and 80% mindset, meaning that if you master a strategy, which is just 20% of what trading entails, and you leave out the psychological and the emotional part of trading, you are still going to be facing a lot of problems. All right, so we see this every time when students come to the academy. They learn, we teach them the same thing, but some of them are able uh, to get results in a very short time, but most of them, especially the ones that are always in denial of the fact that the mind has a very important role to play in trading, they are the ones that constantly face a lot of difficulties in trading. So your mind is the real market. So when you sit in front of your desktop and you're trading, maybe you think that you're trading against the market, but the reality is that you are just trading against yourself. It is just a reflection of you. You're trading your fear, you're trading your greed, you're trading your emotions, you're trading your impulsive nature. So these are the things that you trade. These are the things that will keep on coming up in trading, and left uncontrolled, it is going to be a very, very big problem. All right. So, once more, you are welcome to the EasyFX family. Today, we are going to be breaking down or to show you the single most important factor behind consistent Forex or crypto trading. That is your mindset and your trading psychology. If you can master this and you gain an edge, no indicator can ever give you in the market. Now, the reality about trading is that we are always going to be facing uncertainty, we are always going to be facing risks, we are always going to be facing all these things coming up in trading. And if the mind has not been trained to function under this environment, then there is always going to be a big problem in trading. All right. So, two traders can use the same strategy, same entries, and the same market structure and still get completely two different results. Why? Because one is trading the chart and the other is trading their emotions. So your mind determines your reactions, your patience, your risks, and everything that you have to do with trading. So it can either be your worst enemy or it can be your best ally. Now, no matter who you are, as long as you are a human being, you are always going to be faced or plagued by your emotions. And these emotions are inherent part of every or each and every one of us. So there is no way that you are going to be trading without emotions. So, your beliefs, your emotions, your expectations, your impulses, your past experiences, these are the things that we face internally as traders. And if you leave all of these things uncontrolled, your results are going to be shaky and they are not going to be consistent. So, when discipline, your mind becomes your greatest ally. It waits for the premium setup, it respects risks, it allows you to follow your rules, and it sees the market objectively. But when your emotions are running wild all the time, what is going to happen is that your mind becomes your worst enemy. You chase price, you fear missing out, you hold losers, you ignore structure, and you gamble. And your results will always be a reflection of your mindset. So, when I hear some people say, leave your emotions at the door or how to get rid of your emotions, I just really wonder how they intend to get rid of their emotions when these emotions are inherent part of each and every one of us. So the only time that you don't have emotions is when you are dead. All right. So that is the only time that you don't have emotions. As long as you are a human being, you are going to be facing all of these things. So your inner world as a trader determines how far you are going to succeed in the outer world of trading. Your beliefs about money, your beliefs about winning and losing are affecting your trading. If you believe that money is easy to be made, if you believe that money is difficult to be made, it is going to reflect in your trading. If your emotions are always running wild, it is going to reflect. If your expectations are not realistic, it is going to reflect. And if you're always trading out of impulse and past experiences, maybe your past wins, maybe your past losses, if you cannot detach yourself from those, then they are always going to be determining what you do in the future. So, my friends, there are four main factors, right? There are four main factors that will determine, or four forces that controls the trader's mind. All right. So these four psychological factors that control a trader's behavior are your impulse, your fear, your doubt, and your ego. So impulse will cause you to act before a confirmation. So price is approaching your point of interest. Without even approaching or even getting to your point of interest, you start feeling like, oh, I might miss out on this trade. Or all of those things that come up when price is approaching your entry. And by the time you want to see, you're already in on a trade when you should have not been in on it. So you get in too early on the trade without a confirmation and you get blown out. Then your setup ends up playing out well. Your fear, doubting your analysis. So when price has given you the confirmation, instead of you to take the trade, you feel scared and you feel like, oh, if I take this trade, is this trade going to be a winning trade or it is going to be a losing trade? Those things are what we face as traders every day. And also your doubt, questioning yourself after a loss. Did I do well, or am I going to really succeed in this trading? Is this trading really meant for me? So this is what we find ourselves, or most traders, we find ourselves playing with, or we find ourselves being plagued by these things. Your ego is one of the things that also plagues your trading performance. Refusing to accept that you are wrong, right? So these will cause you to hold on to a losing trade for a longer period of time, because you don't want to accept the simple fact that you are wrong on that setup. So the best thing for you to do is for you to keep all these things under control. And that is what we are going to be looking at today. That is what we are going to be talking about. So, impulsiveness in trading. If you have ever found yourself chasing setups over trading, reacting emotionally to every move that the market gives, then it means that you are trading out of impulse. And this is where most traders define themselves. Why? Because they are functioning under the survival brain, they are functioning under the survival mind. So when you are functioning under the survival mind, everything to you seems like danger, everything seems like an opportunity, and it is just chaos everywhere. All right. So you over trade, you over leverage, you chase setups, and you react emotionally. So after taking a win in trading in the market, you feel as if you're the best trader out there. And when you take a loss, you feel as if you're the worst trader out there. This is where most traders find themselves. Now, the thing that we face again in our trading is fear. And we have said that fear is something that is inherent in each and every one of us. And there is no way that you are going to trade without fear, all right? So you can keep fear under control, but you can never wipe out fear. So instead of trying to fight fear, what do you need to do? You must be able to develop that ability to recognize the fear, and despite the fear coming up, you still act rationally. All right. So fear is one of the factors that will always cause people to either jump into a trade too early. So the market comes into your position and without even giving the confirmation, and you see a candle begins to spike either to the downside or to the upside, you start feeling like, oh, I'm going to miss out on this setup without getting the confirmation. And you start uh, feeling as if you're going to miss out on that opportunity. And what happens next is that you jump on that setup. When you jump on it without a confirmation, the market retraces, wipes you out. So it is not the market, but your impulsive reaction to fear that has caused you to lose on that setup. Now, the next thing is that fear is going to cause you to exit your trades early. All right, exiting your trades too early. So maybe you had a past experience that was not so good. You had a past loss in trading, and you haven't gotten over this past experience. So the next time that you place a trade and the market is moving in your favor, what happens is that your mind starts telling you that, oh, this your profit that you have made like this profit can be taken away from you very easily. And you say, oh, it's better that I take this my small win that I have made rather than I lose this. And after exiting the setup, what happens? The market continues to move in your direction. And most people, after they exit the trade and market continues to move in their direction, what happens is this jump into the trade again. And when you jump into the trade again, it reverses, and you start saying that anytime that I buy, it sells, and anytime that I sell, it buys. The next thing that fear will cause you to do is hesitate. So your confirmation is there. Everything has aligned for you to either buy or for you to sell. But because you are afraid, you hesitate. And when you hesitate, you miss the move. And once you have missed the move, right, timing is a very important factor in trading. Once you have missed that timing, there is no way that you are going to push back price to it, except that by chance, price gets to give you a second opportunity through a pullback. So if you found yourself hesitating, exiting too early, and jumping into trades without a confirmation, these are signs that you are still functioning under fear. You are still functioning under the survival mind. All right. So if you've ever found yourself in any of these situations, please let us know in the comment section, and then let us know how you responded to this. All right. So every trader out there faces this. Whether you're a professional trader or you're a newbie, you are going to face all of this. You're going to face this fear coming up. Your ego, all right? Your ego is one of the greatest enemy that we have as traders. Your ego is always that thing that is always telling you at the back of your head, hey, you have lost money. Are you going to leave it like that? You need to get back this money. That is your ego talking. If you ever hear that voice behind you telling you, get back that money, get back that money, all right, or refusing to accept a loss after taking it, and then always needing to be right in trading, that is the effect of the ego. It is a mind that is plagued by by the ego. All right. So what your ego does is that it does not want to be wrong. It always wants to be right. It always wants to predict. It always wants to be right, right? So if you've ever found yourself in this situation, it means that your ego is still running the game for you. Now, you revenge trade. If you find yourself revenge trading, when you take a loss, you don't want to accept that loss peacefully. One of the greatest attributes of profitable trader is their ability to accept losses without allowing these losses to cause more harm to them. So, a typical beginner or a typical person who is struggling in trading, they don't like losing. So losing to them always feels as if they are the worst people on earth. And it is not our fault, right? So if you've been following up with us, you're going to understand that it is not our fault as human beings, all right? So the mind that we naturally bring into trading is a mind that hates losing. It hates being in an uncertain situation, and it hates risks. So, since the mind is built for survival, it is always trying to take care of your well being. So, losing is bad for the mind. Being in a risky situation is bad for the mind. Being in an uncertain situation is bad for the mind. So the mind will always do everything possible to get you out of these situations. So don't blame the mind. All right, don't blame the mind. The mind is just doing what it was naturally built to do. But it is your responsibility as a trader to fix this thing when you bring it into trading. So the mind that we bring into trading is just like us, right? It is just like you trying to fit in a 6 inches nail on a 12 inches position, right? So or let's say it is just like us taking let's say we take a fish out of water and we place it on land, and we are expecting that that fish should perform in the same way that it performs in water. So the mind that trades is a mind that is built under calmness, under patience, under impartiality, under courage. And unfortunately for us, the mind that we bring into trading is the opposite of what is required in trading. All right. So now we need to reorganize this mind, the mind that trades. All right. We need to reorganize this mind to be able to function in the new environment called trading. The mind was meant to help us, right? So the ego is, if we want to break it down, we can break down the ego, right? So the ego is part of our mental responses to living. All right. So the ego simply means earth guide only. All right. So it is guiding you in the physical world. All right. So when we bring this into trading, it is going to be doing exactly the opposite of it. Since it is guiding us only on our earth guide, it is our earth guide, it means it is trying to protect us from all the dangers, all the uncertainty, all the fear, all the losses, and all of those things. But the mind that trades demands a completely different mind. The mind that trades is a mind that is able to function under uncertainty. It is able to take risks. It is able to accept losses. So you see that even before getting into trading, we have already been programmed to fail. So we have already been checkmated uh, before even placing that trade. Your mind is already trying to work against you. So you're trying to make money, but your mind is trying to protect you from this activity called trading. So when you hesitate from taking that trade because you were feeling afraid to take the trade, your mind has succeeded in keeping you out of a fearful situation. But it has done more damage to you because that trade would have ended up being a winning trade. So you see why the mind that trades needs to be worked on. And that is why trading is more of a mindset and a psychological game than a game of charts. All right. So the mental architecture has to change. So we need to now rebuild this mind to be able to function under these circumstances, under uncertainty, under risks, and under a situation where you always stand a chance of losing. So the mind that trades is a mind that is built on probabilities. It understands that past results do not guarantee future results. It understands that placing a trade does not guarantee win at every point in time. You could place a trade and it ends up being a losing trade. It understands that emotional neutrality is what helps you to avoid that edge for you to trade emotionally, to revenge trade, to jump in on setup, to trade impulsively. And so we must be able to build a neutral mind that says, oh, win or loss in trading, I am still going to be fine. That is what we mean by emotional neutrality. And for you to be emotionally neutral, you must develop that ability to detach yourself emotionally from the outcomes of your trade. A mind that trades must be changed. The mental architecture must be changed into a mind that accepts risks amicably. All right. It does not fear losing. Okay. So, risk to your mind is danger. All right. But in trading, you always stand a chance of losing, and so there is risks at every point in time. So risk is the price that we pay for admittance in trading. So whenever you put on a trade, you are taking up risks, right? So you're taking up risks because you don't know if that trade is going to be a winning trade or it is going to be a losing trade. So you must be able to dance with risks. You must be able to dance with probability. And a mind that trades must be recalibrated or must be rewired to follow a rule based execution. All right. So you must have a mechanical process that you follow in your trading. So me, take for example, I am a trend line trader and I love trend lines. So it is either I am trading a trend line bounce or I am trading a trend line break and retest. So those are my two strategies, either a trend line bounce or a trend line break and retest. So if the market has not given me any of these signs, then it is not an opportunity that I should be taking. So when a price approaches my trend line, what do I need to see? I need to see price really touch that trend line, really kiss that trend line. When it touches the trend line, I should see something happen. Maybe I spot an indecision candle followed by a bullish or a bearish engulfing candle for me to get a confirmation either to execute a buy or a sell position. All right. That is what we mean by a rule based strategy or rule based execution. Without these rules, you are simply gambling. So, the mind that trades, we need to rewire the mind to be able to function in probabilities, to be emotionally neutral. Outcomes don't determine if you are if you are going to survive long in trading. All right. So emotional neutrality is what your mind should be speaking. All right. So thinking in probability means that you understand that there is no certainty in the market and only quality setups and your edge works in the market. All right. So, whenever you place a trade, you are never going to know if that trade is going to be a winning trade or it is going to be a losing trade. And so, you must be able to accept uncertainty in the market. There is no certainty. So, you can never place a trade and say, this trade is going to be a winning trade. Anything could happen at any point in time. So, when I hear traders say, let us make money today, that is the beginning of failure for most traders. Because when you tell your mind that let us make money today, if at the end of the day the market does not give you the money, you're going to find every way possible, right, to make that money, even if it means that going to borrow money or going out of your way, going into money that you are not supposed to risk. You're going to do that. All right. So, uncertainty is the nature of the market. Why certainty is an illusion in the market. Now, placing a trade is just like you toasting a coin or rolling a dice. You don't know if when I roll this dice, it is going to give me six, it is going to give me five, it is going to give me four. All right. That is what we call probability, or maybe toasting a coin. All right. Toasting a coin, you don't know if that coin toast is going to give you a head or a tail. So when you place your trade, you are never going to know if that trade is going to be a winner or a loser. So this is the mindset that accept probability. This is a mindset that says I am willing to place this trade, though I don't know what the outcome of this trade is going to be. I am willing to follow my plan. I am willing to follow my strategy. I am willing to follow my edge, but I am fine not knowing what the outcome of this trade is going to be. So that is a probabilistic mindset. That is a mind that thinks in probability. That is the mind that trades. emotionally neutrality. Win or loss, all right? A win in trading is just data, and a loss is a lesson. So, when you take a trade, you are going to have two outcomes. It is either you win or you lose. And some people, break even is also a win, all right? Break even is a win. So it is either you win or you lose. So when you place a trade and you are so emotionally attached to that trade, when you lose on that trade, you are going to feel like you're the worst person on earth. And when you start feeling like you're the worst person on earth, that is when you start revenge trading. That is when you start over leveraging and so on and so forth. The worst thing is that when you win, you start feeling like you are the best trader out there. Now you can kill the market, you can kill your broker. All right. And you see some people even developing strategies called kill your broker strategy. All right. So when you win in trading, what happens is that excitement, right? Euphoria begins to step in. You start getting excited. And excitement is one of the killers in trading. When you're excited, you're going to forget the things that you did to win. So you start over leveraging because now you're so courageous that you can afford to skip risk management, to skip your plan. All right. So winning can be a very big problem to traders if they cannot accept it neutrally. So win or lose in trading, it does not really matter. What really matters is how did you follow your process? How did you execute your edge or your system? That is the mind that trades. That is the mind that trades. Winning is just data. It is just a result of you falling on on the right side of probability, and losing is just a result of you falling on the wrong side of probability. It has nothing to do with you as a trader. So if your worth as a trader is attached to the outcomes of your trading, you are always going to be trading based on emotions. That is why emotional neutrality is key in trading. All right. So if you're enjoying, or if you have been enjoying all of what we have been saying so far, please make sure to give us a like, make sure to give us a comment, and make sure to share the video to your friends as well. Now, giving is one of the prerequisites for receiving. So you must give in order for you to receive. So even when you trade, you give out some money to the market, and when you give that money, then now the market can now reward you. So by giving us a like, it means that you're giving as well, because you're telling the YouTube algorithm that, oh, recommend this video, this is a good video for us traders. So don't also forget to hit that notification button, so that anytime we post any new content, you are going to be one of the first persons to receive that notification. Now, the trader's operating system that leads to consistent profitability is one that is built on discipline, is one that is built on patience, is one that is built on self-control, and is one that is built on resilience. So discipline is your ability to do what you said you are supposed to do at the right time, at the right moment, and for you to avoid what you are not supposed to do, and for you to stick to your plan, to your goals, and to your rules. Patience in trading is your ability for you to wait for the setup, all right? Wait for the setup, execute the setup, and also to wait for the setup to mature or to get into fruition. Most traders, if they could just be patient enough, or maybe just leave their trades when they place that trade, stop playing with your entries or maybe your stop loss, they are going to be very, very profitable. All right. So that self control that you put on a trade and you don't move your stop loss, that is self control. Without that, you are going to be facing a lot of problems in trading. Moving your stop loss, second guessing yourself, doubting your execution, and all of those things. So, if you are not operating under this system as a trader, then the brain or the mind that you're brought into trading has not been trained to function under this environment called trading. Your resilience, even when the market continues to give you a losing streak, your ability to come back and to trade without emotions or without your past experiences uh, influencing your present execution is what we call resilience in trading. So, there are some psychological traps that we always find ourselves uh, in as trader. So, one of it is the recency bias. The recency bias, take for example, after a winning trade, you feel as if any trade that you place in the market is going to be a winning trade. All right. Or maybe you take a losing trade and you feel as if any trade that you're going to take in the market is going to be a losing trade. So that is the recency bias. If you're not able to detach yourself from your past experiences, this is the same scenario that you are going to be finding yourself in. The recency bias, that is a psychological trap that most traders they find themselves in. And most blown accounts that we find in trading, they always occur after a winning streak. All right. So after winning, you feel like you've mastered everything. And this is when the market traps you. And this is when the market begins to humble you. The confirmation bias, when price comes into your trading, to your setup, or to your point of interest, instead of you taking that trade, you want to get more confirmations. Your mind is always trying to get more confirmations, more confirmations. That is the confirmation bias. Oh, I need more confidence, I need more this, I need more this. And by the time you want to go through, by the time you finish going through that thinking process, the market has left. And the next possible thing is that you start getting into FOMO. All right. So I don't know if FOMO is the right word, but let us just go with that. So you start fearing missing out on that opportunity. Overconfidence. Confidence is good in trading, but when confidence exceeds its limit, becomes overconfidence. And when you're overconfident in yourself, you skip risk management, you skip position sizing, you over leverage, you increase your lot size, right? Because now you feel as if you are the king in the market. So this is a trap that most of us we fall into. There was one of our students who took a trade, and on that trade, it was on gold, and he deposited $50 and was able to scale up that account to 4,700 US dollar. And he came to the community and showed everybody, and he said, "Oh, if you can just take this account to $5,000, we are going to crown you the king of gold." Okay, now he went and increased the lot size. And when he increased the lot size, what happened? The market began to retrace against him. And that is how he lost every penny on that trade. It is because of that overconfidence, or that edge to prove yourself to someone, right? That he lost. It is not because the market was wrong, but it is because of his own mental traps All right. So the mind that trades is not a mind that should be taken for granted in trading. Now, one of the ways in which we can develop or work with our mind is through journaling. So, the journaling mind is a mind that works with more clarity, and a mind that does not journal is a mind that works with a lot of noise. So, your journal is like a mirror reflecting to you back your execution and your emotions while you were trading. So, before and after you trade, you need to journal. All right. How was I feeling before I traded? How did I feel during my trading? How did I feel after I traded? All of these has to go into your journal. And when you journal like this, it is going to provide you with a blueprint on which you can work on your subsequent trades. That is why reviewing your journal and having a journal in the first place is very important in trading. Journaling brings mental clarity, and without a journal, your mind is just so confused. So, journaling your mind, meaning that you journal your emotions, how you felt, your thinking patterns when you traded, before you traded, and after you traded. This is what builds consistency. This is what builds long term growth. This is what builds the mind that trades. All right. So, a trader must have what we call a ritual. All right. Something that they do, we can say a ritual, it is something that you do, like over and over. You have a checklist, you have a breathing routine, you review and you reflect. So after you have taken your trade, you go through your checklist. Did my setup confirm with my plan? Did I execute the plan? Did I get the proper confirmation? Did I follow my rules? All of those things. That is your checklist. All right. After you have done that, that is what is going to help you to grow as a trader. Your breathing. Breathing is one of the, or it is the most practical way in which you can calm your emotions. Have you ever been in a situation where there is danger or maybe risks or uncertainty and you feel all these emotions coming up? And naturally, you are going to take a deep breath, right? So, this deep breath brings you back into the present moment. And when you're back into the present moment, it calms you down. So, breathing is one of the most important thing that you can learn as a trader. Take, for example, you want to place a trade and you feel that emotional pressure. Your heart is racing, your palms are sweating, your feet are sweating. All right. The best way for you to calm these emotions is to breathe. Take some deep breaths. And when you take those deep breaths, you're going to feel much calmer. When you take those deep breaths, review it again. Why am I feeling this way? Is it because maybe I am over risking? Or maybe I am just trading because I want to trade? When you review, then now you reflect on it. You reflect on what you are supposed to do. Okay, I have reviewed and I see that I am feeling this way because I am over risking on this trade. Then you reflect on it. Is this worth it? Is it worth taking this trade? It is not worth taking that trade. Then you have avoided a wrong trade. So that is a trader's ritual. That is the mind that trades. Without a ritual, you are going to find yourself maybe in what we call a roller coaster, right? You're going up, your results are going up, your results are going down, your results are going up, your results are going down. So, my friends, it is not just about you mastering the charts, it is not just about you learning technical analysis, but it is also about you uh, mastering your own inner game. So, The good thing is that even though the mind that we bring into trading has not been built for the trading environment, we can retrain or rewire this mind to function in this new environment. So that is the good thing about our minds. We can change our minds, we can rewire the mind to now function in the new environment called trading. And how do we do this? You start small, okay? Start small. When you are a beginner, don't try to be a pro when you should be a beginner. Accept where you are in life, accept where you are as a trader, and from this acceptance you are going to grow naturally. So when you come into trading with real or unrealistic expectations, how you want to be making money in the short period possible. So when somebody comes to me and I tell them that, you see, trading is not all about you knowing technical analysis, but about this. And they say, no, I already know this thing. I've already seen somebody who is going to be giving money away into the market. All right, because you're coming into an environment where there is no expectations, but you're placing expectations, right? You're expecting to win, but you cannot control whether you win or you lose. What can you control? You can control the process and the mind that you bring into trading. So when you're basing your mind on expectations, you are focusing your mind on the wrong things. You are focusing on your mind on the outcome, and you cannot control outcome in trading, but you can control the mind that you bring into trading. All right, so reduce your risks. All right, so to develop a strong trading mind, you start with these few steps. Reduce your risks, smaller lots, calmer emotions. Trade less, only trade those premium setups. Journal your feelings before, during, and after your trades. That is how you build the mind that trades. Create rules around your trading that eliminates all the emotional decisions or the emotional trading that you have been doing. So, I have a rule. When price comes into my trend line, I need to see volume reducing as it approach on my trend line, or even if it comes with a huge volume, I don't need to see the candle close below my trend line. I need to see somewhat of an indecision, or maybe a bullish or a bearish rejection. I need to see a complete takeover by either bulls or bears for me to get into trading. So this is rule based trading, not just trading out of emotions. Because price has touched your trend line does not mean that you should be buying or you should be selling from there. All right. So this process is going to build the new mind that is required in trading. Fewer trades means that you are not exposing yourself all the times to risks. Review your behavior weekly. So at the end of each week, all right, at the end of each week, always go back, review your traits, find out what you did wrong, find out what you did right, and that is how you're going to grow as a trader. So when you master your mind, you are going to be able to master the market. All right. So today is weekend. What are you doing on your weekends? Are you going to be playing around, jumping around, or you're going to be reviewing your traits, finding out what you did right, what you did wrong? That is what separates the winners from the losers in trading. Okay, now consistency in trading seems very boring. So if you have ever heard that uh, profitability or consistent profitability in trading is boring, all right, so we apply the boredom principle in trading. Why? Because consistency requires that you keep on doing the same thing over and over and over and over without seeking excitement. So I put on it, I have my rules, and I know that If price comes into my trend line or it comes into maybe your other block, your fair value gap, you need to see these or that for you to execute your trade. That is what you need to see on this trade today. That is what you need to see on that trade tomorrow. That is what you need to see on that trade after tomorrow. So each setup that you're executing has to follow the same principle. That is what we mean by consistency. And when you apply this consistency over and over and over, it becomes boring. But when it is boring like that, it gives you the profitability. So consistent trading tends to be boring because you keep on doing the same thing over and over and over, and the mind naturally seeks excitement. All right, so when you're trading out of excitement, you're doomed. Now, we did a video on I think it's the dangers of excitement in trading. All right, the video is in the channel. Go and watch that video, and you are going to understand what excitement does to you. Now, the mind is always seeking excitement, and to it, when you're trading and the process feels exciting, it feels like you're doing the right thing. But my friend, once your trading becomes exciting, be rest assured that you have started doing the wrong thing, or you're probably doing the wrong thing. And when you're doing the wrong thing, it is going to cost you in trading. So, a winner's mindset, it can be attributed to a growth mindset, why a loser's mindset can be attributed to a fixed mindset. A fixed mindset is a mindset that does not learn, does not accept losses, does not accept uncertainty, does not learn, hasn't embraced continuous learning in trading. So, a winner's mindset is a mindset that does not react, all right, but it responds to what the market does. So, if you're always reacting to every situation in the market, it means that you have not built this mind that trades. All right. So in trading, we always let price act, then we respond. All right. If you find yourself reacting, you're already doing the wrong thing. You let the market act, then you respond. So now you are trading what you see and not what you think. Most people, or most at times, your mind is going to be tricking you to trade what you think. All right, so you hear people say that I thought that the market was going to do this here, that is why I took the position. Now, you were thinking, you were trading what you were thinking, but not what price was showing you, not what the market was showing you. And your ability to trade what the market is showing you is what separates you from the rest of the traders that we have out there. So trade what you see and not what you think. Most traders are always trading what they think, not what they are actually seeing. Okay, so anytime that somebody says, "Sir, I think that," I just tell you that don't think. Tell me that this is what I am seeing. Don't think. Okay? Don't think. Trade what you see and you uh not what you think. So my friends, the message for today is that your mind is the most valuable and the most important asset that you have as a trader. It is not only as a trader, as a human being. Your mind is the most important asset that you have. So everything that we have in our visible reality today stemmed from somebody's mind. What I am using to communicate with you started from somebody's mind, and what you are using to listen to me started from somebody's mind, began as an idea in the mind. So your mind controls 90% of your success in whatever thing you do in life. So mind over matter means that You prioritize what your mind is doing internally than what you are doing physically. So if your inner world is balanced, then it is going to reflect in your outer world. If your process in trading and the only thing that you control in trading is your process and the mind that you bring into trading is balanced, then your results are going to be balanced. So my friends, master the mind that trades, and the charts will become easier for you. So the message today is that work on your mind and you are going to see a lot of changes in your results. So, my friends, if you have enjoyed this right to the end, please give us a like, give us a comment, give us a share, and don't forget to hit that notification button. So, a lot of people have been asking, how do we get into your mentorship program? How do we get to learn? How do we get to benefit from what you share with us? So, here we have our Telegram channel. Here is the link, EasyFX 007, and the link is also found in the description. Make sure to check the description, and you can also check the pin post for our Telegram channel link. Click on it and join our Telegram, where we discuss all of these things on a daily basis. All right. So you could take a losing trade, and at the end of the day, you come and you read a quote in the group that puts your mind at a calm position. All right. So mindset is very, very important in trading. If you want to get in contact with me, either through direct call or through WhatsApp, here is our number on the screen. It is also in the description. And if you are new to trading or you have been struggling with your broker, facing a lot of problems with your broker, make sure to create your Xness account with the link provided. If you want to enjoy faster execution, low spreads, good good and quality customer support, fast deposit and withdrawal, then you create your account with Xness. There are videos on the channel that are going to guide you step by step on all of these things. I also teach on my WhatsApp status, so you can just save my number, and you're going to be, when you save my number, reach out to me so that I save your number as well. All right. So you're going to be learning a lot from me, and I'm going to be learning a lot from you as well. So, my friends, I wish you all the best in your trading journey. May the universe continue to guide, bless, protect, and provide for you each and every step of the way. God bless you all and have a great rest of your time. Bye bye.